I want to talk to you about something that I don't think gets said enough. There's a moment that happens for many of us somewhere in our 50s where we look up from our lives and we just genuinely don't recognize ourselves. Not because something dramatic happened, not because there was one big event, just quietly, slowly, something shifts inside of us. And nobody around us seemed to notice, but we sure did. And I know that feeling personally because I was 52 years old. I was in the beginning stages of menopause, no longer having my cycle. And honestly, I was excited about that part because previously, for years, I was bleeding 14 to 21 days. But I could not explain what was actually happening inside of me: the brain fog, the hot flashes, the exhaustion that went so much deeper than tired. And I was still in a marriage at the time that had its own kind of chaos, emotional chaos, that I didn't fully understand yet. I just knew that I did not like the way that I felt, or I didn't like myself, and I didn't know why. And if you've been there or you're there right now, I want you to know something today. What's happening inside of you is not what you think it is. And later in this conversation, I'm going to explain the one shift that happens in the nervous system that causes so many women to feel this way in midlife. Because once you understand it, you stop questioning yourself and you start seeing clearly. Most of us spent our 30s and 40s learning how to hold everything together. We became really, really good at it: kids, careers, marriages, families, and other people's emotions, other people's needs. We learned how to push through, how to keep going, how to stay strong, even when strong was the last thing we felt. And here's the thing: we did it. We held it all together. But eventually, the body sends a message that the mind has been too busy to hear. When does someone take care of me? And that's when it all starts showing up. The emotional exhaustion, the lower tolerance for drama that used to feel normal, the pull towards quiet, towards peace, towards something that finally feels safe. And so many women I talk to interpret all of that as becoming too sensitive, too emotional, too much. And I want to gently push back on that today, because what you're experiencing is not too much. It might be the first honest thing your body has been allowed to say in a very long time. And what many women think is emotional sensitivity in their life is actually a nervous system that is no longer willing to carry what it carried before. Not weakness, it's a shift. So let me make this really simple. There are two things happening here: what your system learned to do and what it's no longer willing to do. And when you spend years managing emotional stress, and I mean really managing it, absorbing it, functioning through it, staying quiet through it, your system adapts and it becomes alert. It learns to read everything: tone, energy, tension in a room, the moment something feels off before you can even explain why. And for a long time, that ability looked like strength, but it comes at a cost because you are always on, always aware, always managing, always holding something together. And eventually, your system reaches a point where it no longer wants to live like that. And this is where it gets misunderstood. Most women think that something is wrong with them because they can't tolerate what they used to. But that's not the truth. Here's the shift I told you I would explain. The nervous system begins to reject instability. What you once pushed through, what once was normalized, what once was told yourself, oh, that's just life, this is what the aging process is like, starts to feel exhausting, heavy, unnecessary, and even intolerable. And then you wonder what changed. Nothing broke in you. Your system just stopped overriding itself. And that is the shift. You didn't lose yourself. You outgrew the version of yourself that was built to survive. So now the work changes. It's no longer about pushing through, it becomes about understanding yourself, learning what actually triggers your system, recognizing when your body is signaling something, not ignoring it, not explaining it away, but truly listening. And it's learning how to regulate instead of react, how to build safety inside of yourself instead of constantly searching for it outside, how to look at your relationships with a different level of clarity: what feels stable and what doesn't, what brings peace and what's quietly taking it away. And this season of life is not your falling apart, it's your becoming honest with yourself. and what you feel and what you need about what you will and will no longer carry. And when that honesty begins to lead your life, everything changes. And this is exactly the work of my program, the Inner Healing Journey Method. Understanding how your experiences shaped your system and learning how to rebuild stability so your life actually feels like yours again. And conversations like this are important for each one of us over 50 to have because too many women are living life from the outside in, managing everything while quietly losing themselves. That changes right here because each week we go deeper into the nervous system, the patterns, the wounds that were never named, and the woman you are always meant to become. So, would you do me a favor and click subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next? And invite other women who are walking through this season of life too. And if you're ready to move beyond watching into actual transformation, the Inner Healing Journey Method is where that all begins. You can find it at my website, innerhealingcoaching.com. The link is in the description of each of my videos. Until next week, God bless your healing and your becoming.